Hey people, what's up, it's Jameel? I just want to talk about how the gang stalking program uses sex, right? Now, sex is one thing that people just have to have. I mean, all animals, humans are animals, crave sex. That's one thing they can't stop. And so the gang stalking program turned my sexuality up hella high, right? And it's a pretty damn good feeling. And it's just been blessing after blessing after blessing. But one of the ways that I was able to grind through it was the gang stalking program. Just I don't know how they do it, man. But they come up with different ways to try to infiltrate you, like try to agitate you, and you have to accept it as an obstacle. But I would go into a liquor store or a store or whatever when I was over in Phoenix. I had went on vacation in Phoenix for a couple weeks to collect my thoughts, and that was a really pivotal time in my life. That's what catapulted me to becoming the only person who wanted to be gang stalking was the activity that happened there, and I got to be thankful to the program for that. But it was a woman with her ass was just so fat, and she was bending over, and I walked in there, and I saw her, and the gang stalking program organizes these little scenarios. And so I walk in there, and I see her ass, and I'm like, God damn! Like that. I was like, God damn! And so, I know I talk about God a lot and stuff, but I gotta be real. I'm explaining the story. And so, even this little skinny Mexican girl was standing over in the corner. She started laughing because she saw me, and the gang stalking program had arranged that. And so, I'm like that. And so next time, and so I'm like, you know what, man? I'm like, Jameel, what's going on with you, man? There used to be a time in your life when you would cut into about every woman you saw. Back when I was growing up, I used to just cut into them nonstop. And I said, man, we're gonna take them to school, right? And so so I go end up later on the night. I end up going to another store. They had a chick come in there, right? Boy, she was strapped. She was so damn fine. I'm talking about when she had ass sticking out everywhere, and so I'm serious. She had ass sticking out everywhere, and so I'm sitting there like looking at her, and I see her coming in, and she's in the car with the dude, and so I look at him, and he's sitting there looking all scared and stuff, and so I'm like, okay, he's a punk, he won't do nothing, and so I walk up where she's standing, and I lean over, I put my body weight, my energy over to her. I tell the guy working at the front of the store, I'm like, man, let me have a box of Magnums. And I take the Magnums, I go, boom, I put them on the table right in front of her, and like that, and she just kind of like froze up, and then she started smiling. And as the Magnums are right there, I'm sitting there with my hands going like this, like studying her ass. You know what I mean? I could tell by looking at the guy inside the car, he doesn't know what to do with that. He doesn't know. There's nothing he can do. There's nothing he can do with that. And so I'm sitting there looking at her, and so I get on my phone like I'm talking to somebody, and I say, yeah, I'm over at the Best Western with my room number is this. Are you gonna come see me? And I'm talking on the phone. I'm letting her hear the whole thing, and so then I keep looking back at the car, and he keeps looking away every time I look at the car. Then I go back to looking at her ass. I take a piece of paper and write a phone number down, and as I move the counter, I'm like, oh, bam, with the piece of paper with my number and stuff like that. Now, I was going to say something to her, but I knew she was part of the program. And so had I said something to her, she might have had more focus on her. I didn't want to cut into her to prove I could talk to her. I want to get some ass. Straight up. And so now I go back to the hotel, and I'm like, she's probably not even going to call. And so I go down to the lobby, and I'm hanging out down there. They had this crazy cholo from LA staying there. I know a lot of people in LA. I know a lot of different areas, and so it's not long before me and him get cool. We're down there chilling and stuff. He's telling me, old stories and stuff like that. We're hanging out down there drinking coffee, and usually I don't drink coffee, and so I'm getting turned up off the coffee. I'm getting all hyper and stuff. And then and then they keep bringing woman after woman after woman through the lobby to try to get my attention, And I'm like, okay, they're doing this like this is some police sting operation type stuff, right? And so I see a girl off down there, and so I walk down there, I stroll down there, and I just start talking to her, I'm just telling, I just start telling her, I'm like, hey, what's going on? How are you doing tonight? And she's looking all happy and stuff like that, and she's like, well, I'm here from out of town, and somebody got me a room for the night and stuff. Now, the only reason she came in there to the hotel is because she was part of the program, but she didn't know who she was really coming there for. And so I'm like, oh, okay. And so next thing I know, I get her back to like I'm talking to her and stuff, and I'm like, hey, let me see your hand. And I kiss her hand. I take her hand and twirl her body around. And the whole time I'm doing it, I'm just looking at her ass. And she sees me doing that, and she started laughing and smiling and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh hell yeah, it's going down. And so I'm like, well, why don't we you know what I mean? I'm like, well, why don't we go kick it? She's like, kick it where? I'm like, we can just go kick it in my room, and we can just relax a little bit and stuff. She's like, okay. And so we go back to my room, and then as soon as I still got the box of condoms. As soon as I get in there, you know what I mean? I just start, I start talking to her and stuff. If I really start lighting her up with some game, I want to get her. But I started taking it easy on her. I started taking it easy on her. I said, well, you got a boyfriend, and she's like, yeah, I got a boyfriend, but we're kind of broken up right now. I'm like, well, you got the right plan, but you got the wrong man, and you need somebody who, be the backbone of your life, some support, some discipline, somebody. At this point, see, I used to run some deep game on females. But I stopped doing that when I did my conspiracy. I said, man, I'm not going to get involved with that no more. And so now the program is bringing out the dog in me. I'm starting. I'm saying, okay, well, if the program's out cold like that, then JAMEEL RAWLS is out cold like that. And so I start, I'm thinking in my mind, like, you got to spit it to get it. You know what I mean? I started dropping some real game on her. When I was growing up, I used to grow up around some older guys who were like pimps from Chicago, all kinds of stuff. And so I know, I know how to cut into it real sharp and real quick. And so it's not how much you talk, it's what you put in it, And so she started getting happy and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah. And so next thing you know, I got her in the room. I got her back in the room screaming her damn head off. You know what I mean? I already know what I'm gonna do. I'm about to break her down. And so I got her in the room. I'm going to work on her. We're in the room for at least a couple hours, right? Usually I try to run them for 3 hours. You know what I mean? That's usually if I can do it for 3 hours, that's usually what I try to do it for. And so I said, okay, well, we'll get you. She had 2 hours and stuff. And now she was smaller. She wasn't real like thick or anything. She was skinny, like a skinny, geeky looking white chick. And then she was like, afterwards she was like, I never had anybody fuck me like that. And I told her, see, I always tell females, if you hook up with a guy and he's fucking you and you don't hear a clap like that, he's not fucking you right. You know what I mean? If he's just going in and out and he's not working the sides and stuff like that, he's not fucking you right. And so you need somebody who's going to lay it down properly. And that's where I come in at. She's like, oh, and give me her phone number. It gives me her phone number and stuff like that. And so we're sitting there kicking and stuff. I'm like, well, I'm going to go back to the lobby and stuff. She's like, well, I'll go back to my room. So we end up departing. The next day, the gang stalker program uses her against me. And then she was outside just looking at me, right? She's out there just studying me and stuff. And I can tell her she's getting wet. Just by sitting there looking at me, she's getting wet. She's thinking about, she knows what's going on. She knows what can happen. And so she's getting wet. And I'm just like, hey, and so I go on about my business. And that was the last day. Actually, that was the last day before I left. And so I go on about my business, and I go ahead and I go ahead and bounce, and I leave. And so from that point on, I said, the gang stalking program uses sex and stuff like that, but they do it in a way where they try to have a female throw some ass at you, and then she hurries up and walks away and takes off. And so I just got so used to it, man. The gang stalking, I used to be like that when I was younger. The gang stalking program broke me out of my shell. So I just be studying them. I just be studying, her ass and stuff. I see the way she can walk. If she walks a certain way, I know she's not getting whoever she's with. He's not doing what he's supposed to be doing, because she would be walking different if she was with me. And so, I know what I'm capable of. And so, especially now that I've been hitting this jump rope, you know what I mean? Got the girl on the phone talking about getting a hotel room soon. That's why I'm out there killing myself on this jump rope trying to get my stamina up, so when I get her to the room, I'm about to break her, boy. You know what I mean? I'm about to break her. JAMEEL RAWLS is the only person to ever beat gang stalking. I'm famous, goddamn. I got to break her. Because I can't have a female going out talking about, I was with JAMEEL Rawls, don't impress the beat gangsta. He didn't do nothing for me. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, she gonna say, oh, JAMEEL, boy. Woo, woo. You know what I mean? I'm saying, yeah. That's how we do it. Only person in the world ever beat gangsta. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's how we beat it. We beat it through that ass. God damn it, I beat gangsta like I beat that ass. That's what JAMEEL's about. And so I like to thank the Gang Stalker program for helping me lay that back down, get that back on track. And so we're going into it. I'm serious, man. People are laughing, man. People are laughing. And so you know what I mean. Then when I go over to the hood, all the dark skinned females get excited and stuff like that. Say, oh, that's the guy that was talking about all that crazy stuff with the Hollywood. I'm like, yup, that's me. That's me. You know, let's go get this room real quick. And get in and get out. Get in and get out. You know what I mean? I only got one night in town. And so, you know, that's where we're going with this. The Gang Stalker program turned me into a beast. Now I'm just hunting females, boy. I just be hunting them. Ever since I started seeing all that ass, ever since the program started throwing all that ass at me, I just be out there. Right for the last week I've been around my mother's house, just lifting weights. I haven't been out and about. But now it goes time getting it's a wrap. I need 2 females. To be honest with you, I need 2. Because after I get through doing what I'm doing with you, get out the way, because I got some more work to do. Get out the way, because I got some more work to do. It ain't over till it's over. It ain't over until it's over. And then when I get through with her, be ready, because I'm coming back over to you, and then I'm coming back over to her, and I'm coming back over to her, and call, what's her name, and have her come over here, because you got to go to work later, and we're going to keep, that's where I'm going, that's what I want. So, for all the people out there who are going through a stagnant sexual life or something like that, the Gang Stalker program will bring up the beast in you. You know what I mean? And that's what it did for me, man. That's why I'm killing myself on that jump rope, so I can just tear him down.